We're going. Okay, well that's good. Go ahead.
I do. So you were talking about coming up with a plan, and then you figured out the best time for this location. So do you then, so if the tide's going out, you then trying to run south and get to another location with that peak?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna know. Not what I'm gonna do, it's what you're gonna do. You'll know what to do.
Anyway.
You'll know what to do, buddy. All right. Of course, let's plan a productive fishing trip. That's the kind we like. Can be accomplished prior to or during the trip. For some reason, if you get out there and you know, maybe you left your notes home or something, don't worry about it. You got a phone, you got a GPS, something like that. You can plan right on the spot. Most new GPSs, chart plotters, whatever you want to call them, have detailed current charts already in them. Even the old, some of the old ones got it. I got an old one, that's 10 years old, 12 years old, it still has it. For any date or location in the bay or its tributaries. Now it doesn't give you every specific location, so it'll give you Thomas Point, it'll then give you the Bay Bridge, I think it gives you one in between them, and then it goes from the Bay Bridge a little bit up from the Magathy, because you don't need right on the money, okay, it's in that stretch. You can use any date. It must be flexible, the charts are only predictions. We went over that a little bit earlier. I try not to jump ahead of myself, but I just want to make sure I get it across. List the swiftest current locations at a variety of locations. List the swiftest current speed, there we go, at a variety of locations. It allows you to fish structures when the current is moving the swiftest. These areas you're going to list. The following example is the Upper Bay. The current charts are from 7/24/06. You can plot any date current chart program, including one on your GPS or your phone. You need to know at least the different current speeds every hour. So you want to have something that tells you every hour. Okay. Half hour, that's what I like to use, but every hour is good. That'll give you good enough. All right. Just excuse me for a minute. I want to see something. I might. For some reason that's when moved up. We didn't see these charts. Okay, I'm very sorry. Here we go. That's what.
Yep.
How you doing? Good, Joe. Let me just do something. Maybe this works for me. I don't know what's happening, just skipping over. We did that, we did that, we did that. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, we're going to the next. All right, when you look at current charts, it's going to give you North Point as a location. It's going to give you the Brewington Channel, Buoy 7, which is here, Swan Point, Belvedere Shoals, Love Point, Sandy Point. That's on the Upper Bay. So you're not going to look, let's say you were here at, well, let's say you're fishing, this is called the
Shark Reef.
down this channel right here. This would be called Snake's
Reef?
Snake's Reef, I couldn't get that. Snake's Reef. So don't look for Snake's Reef. Just look at these and all of a sudden you're going to see, okay, which one's pretty close, this one or that one? I just pick it, all right? Because it's gonna be this stretch here, this stretch here, this stretch here. And usually that's where they're gonna come from. And most of them are the same when you start reading current charts. You know, you're not gonna find that one little specific area that you're gonna go to. It's gonna be in that stretch. All right, you have the charts in front of you. Now the one you're looking at there at North Point, that's good for, this is to help you out in the upper bay. It's good for Man-O-War Shoal, Belvedere Channel, Eastern Extension humps, and the channel edges. That's just a couple of them. And then on that date, or any date that you're doing, let's just say this is next Saturday and you're going and this comes up, these are the things that you want to mark, okay? You want to mark your slacks, but you really want to mark your maximum floods in the ebb. The maximum means that's the fastest it's going to be moving, either one way or the other. Okay. At North Point, if you're sitting on North Point and this is online that day, which normally they are in the summer, you're going to see it moving the fastest right at that time, and you're going to see it moving the fastest because it has it broken down on these charts for you. Okay, maximum 6 a.m. flood, 1:03 p.m. on the outgoing or ebb current, and 7:06 p.m. on the flood current.
So you could just print that page out and take it with you.
You can do that, yeah. Or what I'll do, you can just write these maximums down, and then you can go to the chart. Just like I was saying, I would put 5 o'clock, and I put on the same line a circle next to it, and I would put 6 o'clock. I know that's the swift that's just coming across, and then I would put 7:30 next to it. Then it's like in front of me. I need it when I'm guiding. I can't, I do that. Whatever way you want to do it, if it makes sense to you, that's fine. I just take it off of these and go from there. All right, Swan Point, triple buoy, G754. That might mean something you like trouble. East flat off of R4 is very productive. It's a nice flat there, and then Swan Point. That's where you can use these figures for. Okay, and on the chart it tells you where it is, and it gives you the reading and all that. And basically, I'm going to use this one for Swan Point at 5 o'clock. But if you look at Swan Point, because the Tallchester bar is right close to top over there, take a look at this. It's fastest at 5 o'clock, but look, 5:36, 6:37, 7:30. It's moving, okay, incoming that long, fast. Yeah, right? That's the fastest, but that's still good stuff because you're near the channel there. The closer you are to the channel, the faster the current's going to move. When it gets slack, if you're fishing the Bay Bridge and you're on the east side and you've been there quite a while and nothing's happening, you go, I wonder what happened. And you look at, well, the current's hardly not moving that much. And you go ahead and start moving towards the channel. You watch the water. It's going to start moving a little bit faster until you're out there in the channel. So where do you think I really think they go when we can't find them? Out there in the channel. Okay, I'm gonna find out this year. I'm gonna have the right piece of equipment, but that's how it does. You can do that either way. So this is close to the Tallchester channel, and that's why it moved like that. Same thing down here. Okay, so you just mark your current and you work with that. Brewington Channel, we saw it on the one chart. That's good for the knolls. That's 6 foot, 7 foot, 9 foot, 11 foot. Oh, somebody said there's a 14 foot. I don't know, heard it. I can't find it. There is 11 foot. I can't find 11 foot. I can find 7, 6, 7, and 9. I can't find 11. I don't know where it is. But again, when you look at your chart, you'll see the times where it's maximum, and you can use this here. You can just look at your chart. That would be here and here. But this chart, this program's kind of neat because the red is showing you it's going to be moving the fastest at that time. Okay. Then it's really starting to slow down when you hit the blue. When you look at this one, okay, you go down here farther, it's hardly moving at all. So they're not even calling that a swift current. It's just moving. And it's got to move in and out. And here's where you can use this information. Okay, right here. The Belvedere Shoal. Okay, on the on the chart, you can see it here. This is going to be at 6:30 a.m. on 5:30. 5:30 a.m., 5:50 a.m. it's going to be coming in the fastest. Current's going to be moving the fastest until about 7 o'clock. And when you bring this up, 7 o'clock is that line right there. That's what's kind of neat about that chart there. I mean, I don't have to go look here. I just say, well, that's where I won't be there. Somewhere. And again, here it is. And we do that again. This is how you make your plans up. Now you go to the love point and you write down the figures again for that day that you're going to go. Here they are. They're broken down for you. That's good for the mouth of the Chester River and G3 on the eastern neck side. These are only a couple structures, all right? When you look at them, if you go home and you take your chart and you circle them because you see them here, all right? Then if you know of any structures that are within there, it's also good for them. It's not just good just for these. These are just to get you going to start looking at stuff like that, so you can go catch fish, so you understand where to go. You'll understand structure when this is over. I used to try to do a program called Catching Striped Bass on Structure, giving seminars. You know how many people came to that? Not many. Now change the name to Catching Rockfish Without Birds. You know how many people came to that? It usually got filled up. Just change the name. I don't care what type of fish it is. I don't care where it is. It's fresh, salt, or other kind of water you want to call it. It's on a structure. It's just not swimming around. If it's out there swimming around in the middle of nowhere, it's not going to last long. Okay? They all relate to some type of structure. Sandy Point, at Sandy Point, here's the times you want to be around that area. You can fish for dickery. The mouth outside of Magathie River is good, or the Magathie River, river edges, things like that. Okay, that's just to help you out. Chesapeake Bay Bridge. Sometimes at the bridge it really moves pretty good because it's close to the where they're reading it. It's close to the channel. Okay, that's why you see this a lot of times. You'll see larger numbers there, right? All right, 1.2 knots, 1 knot. That move. That's because that's where they read it. That's where it's going the fastest. Don't ask me why, but that's what it does. And the locations you're going to be fishing there could be anywhere along that bridge until you figure out, oh, here's 42 is good on an outgoing certain time. See, and it just takes time to do that. I can't give you specific locations anyway, because then it would be, oh, let's go where Tom said there'll be fish there. Well, that's not the way it is, guys. Let's go there because Tom, because it should be a good place. But you know what? When you get there and there's no fish, well, you can keep staying there if you want, but that's not a good idea. But let's make up this chart here from all the information in your book. All right, if we're going to move we're gonna fish the swiftest location, the swiftest current time at various locations from the previous 7 charts, from we just wrote, all I did was write them down here, okay? These were the times that we just looked at. If they're in bold, see it here, this Belvedere Shoals? That means we're going to be using it running north to south, or if you go from south to north. All depends where you put your boat in. If you put it in at Sandy Point, because you live in Washington, you come across, all right, you're going to be running, of course, from south to north. And if you come out of Middle River, you're going to be running north to south. So I got work both ways for you. Yes.
So bold indicates north and south?
No, the bold indicates you can use it during these times, during a fishing day. Okay, our fishing day was, I think we said was 6 to 2. Yeah, 6 to 2 it was. So
Okay.
between 6 a.m. and 2 a.m., we can, let's say we can use it here or we can use it here. Okay, this here, because of the time and because of the way we're going to set this up, we're not going to use that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, does that program generate that?
Yeah, well, the program, yeah, the ones that, any ones that you just saw, the one that we made,
No, that software.
the software does not tell you this.
Well, good.
Well,
I
I mean, that's why, you know, you need to know, okay, if you really want to know, you need to know when the maximum flow is, whether it's ebb tide or flood tide. Okay, current, I'm sorry, flood current or ebb current. You need to know when the maximum flow is at that location. Then you can work back and you can work forward with it, okay? It's not going to give you this. This is why we're figuring this out, okay? You can figure this out just like the book does. This is just helping you out, okay? So I wrote them down and thought, okay, now this is when I can use these areas during that day. Now I'm going to use them. I'm running from north to the south, staying in swift current when possible. There's going to be times in your fishing trip in that 8 hours where you're going to go, man, what are we going to do? I'm going to tell you what to do. You're going to eat lunch, you're going to relax, and then it's going to be time to move on. Because you're not going to find a day using charts where that current is going to be moving fast all day everywhere you are. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Okay? We're staying within a range of 50 miles. I mean, that's, you shouldn't have to go that far. You really don't. So keep in mind, no matter when you go, during one time during that day, it's time to eat. I mean, sometimes we eat lunch at 10:30, okay? Because I tell them, once we eat and talk a little bit, it's time to move on. And from that time on, you have a good chance of catching fish. But from right now, from 10:30 to about 11:45, you know, we could go fish. You guys want to fish? We'll go fish. But I would say let's eat lunch, because we're not wasting any time fishing slack water or almost slack water. I don't want to fish that, okay? It's very hard to catch a fish there. Not that it's impossible, but it's like next to impossible. All right, during this 8 hours, when possible, we launched at Middle River. First place we're stopping, using the chart you had, our is going to be the Man-O-War Shoal. Flood current or incoming tide. We're going to be there from 6 to 6:30. I'm going to show you on the following charts how long we're going to stay there. But this is a good time to be there. Now let's say at 6:30 we haven't caught anything. Time to go. Don't stay there. Don't wait around. Don't go. They're going to be here sooner or later. Well, you got a long wait. You got to wait around till the next time comes when it's moving fast. That's a long time. So put your anchor down. Go to sleep. for about 7 hours, 6, 7 hours, 8 hours. I don't stay there. After 6:30, I gotta go somewhere else. Where am I headed? Now, Swan Point, or the mouth of the Chester, I got from 6:45 to 7:30 to find fish in these areas. Once you find them, stay on them. You're gonna find them sooner or later. Stay on them. Catch them, catch them, catch them. Then you do a drift or two, no catch them, time to leave. So let's say, now let's go down to the next. Let's go, current has slowed down, all right? That's what I was talking about. From probably 7:30, 8:39, probably from about 7:30 to 10:30. Here we go. 7:45 to 10:15 in this stretch of the bay, which is, well, it's not 45 miles, that's both ways. That would be half of that. Let's say it was 44. So within that 22-mile range that you've charted out for your trip, at that 22-mile, between 7:45 and 10:15, you can ride around anywhere, and you're going to hit slow current. When's it going to start moving without you you can go from Swan Point and run down to Thomas Point if you want to be that. If you're really that gung-ho, I gotta catch a fish, that's what you could do. If you want to do that, go ahead. Okay, or eat lunch or do something. Talk for a while, do something. Or plan your trip coming up the other way. That's what I would do. You'll see that, where if you come up the other way, that helps you out a little bit. But flood current on Belvedere Shoals is 0.48 to 8:30, beginning to slow down, and then it slows down. Right. So you can try the shoals real quick for Dickory Point, and then it slowed down. MAH08785 had, but what should I do? For Dickory Point, MAH08785 River has ebb current entering the bay at this time. All right. So after about 10:15 or so, 10 o'clock, I'm going to move into there because it's not happening out in the bay. But these rivers are starting to come out to make it happen. Yes.
Is there is that published in the tide charts, or how do you tell?
I think there's a mountain point or something that's in there. But this is just from being out on the water and learning it, because that chart might not tell you what I'm saying, but that water has got to come out to make the bay move down. And it's going to be the first thing to start dumping. So that's the best place during this time, when you don't have any current out in the bay, is to move to the mouth of the rivers. Look in that area. And this is just let's hope it works. Okay, but that's what I would do. I'm not going to tell the guys to eat it, 9 o'clock in the morning. I got to keep going somewhere, and that's where I'm going. Okay, I'm going to go look in there. Well, now, Love Point at the mouth of the Chester River between 10:30 and 1 p.m. is ripping. Love Point on an ebb top current used to always be good. Okay, a couple of years it was a little shaky, but then you'll learn, because I hope you take a little book with you, which I'm going to go over later. I don't know when, to tell you what to write down in that book, because that way, in the future, believe it or not, when times get tough, you look at that book, you go, let's try that. You go there, and there they are. That's very important. Unless you're just going to fish for 1 or 2 years, I've been doing it all, well, not all my life, as much as I can. And then we're going to go, after 1 o'clock, at 1 p.m., no fish, we're going to Swan Point. Usually during that time when it's moving there, you're going to have areas to go to. You're not just going to go to Love Point and well, that is the mouth of Chester. You're not just going there. There's a lot of other areas inside there that you're going to try. You'll see them on the chart there. Swan Point, we're going to try that between 1:15 and 2, and then that's the end of the trip. 2 o'clock's the end of the trip. Now, if we're coming the other way, if we're moving from the Bay Bridge north to Swan Point, here's what we're gonna do. By looking at same chart, same day, same everything. We're gonna start at the Bay Bridge. Best bet is here is to stay around the bridge because, yes, here's why. All right, between 6 and 7:30 is the best time, okay? But again, at 7:45, we're losing current. We're not just losing it at the Bay Bridge, we're losing it everywhere in the realm that we pick to fish, okay? So let's stay around the Bay Bridge because there's structure there, visual structure. You can get them mad. You got a jig right on top of them to get them mad, and you can see what you're doing. So, and there's another area there on the east side. It's called the what do we call that? Sewer pipe coming out on the east side. You can go to the east side and fish that sewer pipe. Nice humps on that. You're going to see a picture of it. And also out of that sewer pipe, there's water flow, even when there's no flow in the bay, okay? Because that's being pushed out by a water plant into the bay. So at least something's coming out. There's going to be some bait fish there eating because they eat whatever they can, and you know, little white perch or whatever.
Is it sewage?
It's sewage. It's from the sewage treatment plant.
Yeah,
Right on the yeah. If you're on the north side of the Bay Bridge and you look straight across and you see the water tower close to the bridge, that's you line up with that water tower and you get over there. That's where the pipe comes out from. Okay. So that's a good place to fish because you got some artificial current coming, and you could have done it the other way. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. I have to put a note down there. And then the Dickory Point, you could try that because the river is coming in, right? Love Point, because we got the ebb from 10:30 to 1. Then I'm going to Swan Point to 2 o'clock, and then that's the end of the trip. So that's going both ways, whichever way you want to go. And you're using the same current. Now, we were talking about on your phone, I did write a lot of companies, not only Garmin but Navionics. I did a lot of them. I did Lowrance, I did Ray Marine. I wrote them all, some information that I'm giving this class. Would like to have some folders to give out. Well, we got Navionics and we got Garmin. The other ones, evidently, they don't care. Okay, that's a bad idea. But I'm telling you right now, that's what I did, and they don't care. You do with it what you want. It's not right, because you guys want to learn this stuff. I want to teach it to you, and I think it's only fair. But they'll be over here when you go. Both of you take one. We're going to go over some of this next week. Here's a chart for if somebody wants it. Somebody bass fishing. There's that. I get all kinds of books, so I don't like to throw them away. I know somebody wants to read. But on your phone, this is under Navionics boating. Comes up like that. I press OK, and you're going to see some of these charts in there, and it has little arrows where you line it up with. Okay.
So that's an app?
I can show you this later, but you can line it up with the current marker. Once you have it on the current marker, you push the question mark right there. Today, right now, at Baltimore Harbor, at, oh man, 1:45, it's ripping. It's going out. We ought to be there.
That's not far from my house.
Well, I have to see where it
I
goes.
work at the hospital.
That's,
Hey, Tom,
yeah.
is that an app? An Navionics app?
That's Navionics Plus. Navionics Plus.
You gotta go to the app store.
Navionics
download
Plus
it.
for your phone. The whole thing cost me, I think, $20, but that's all I ever paid for it. And this is it.
So you get it at the app store, you gotta download it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and you might want to look on navionics.com to make sure your phone will it will work on your phone. And then if you have Apple stuff, you can then also put it on your iPad or whatever. stuff like that, okay? So, it's real good to have. I mean, it's got the whole pay there. And I've used it, when we were down the year before, not this year, the year before last, with the guy David. I said, David, there's a hump over there. And he had a Ray Marine, an older unit, but it didn't show all that. You're gonna see it on the slide. I said, let's go try over
There's
here.
a few of them on there.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that, avionics.
Yeah, okay. Well, however you get to it to make sure, but I know it's navionics.com, and I would make sure, if you have an Apple, I'll tell you it goes down on Apple, but I can't say anything else. I don't know.
Avionics Plus, that's the one
Yeah,
you're talking.
and get all the programs with it. It's about, when I bought this 2 years ago, it was $20, so it can't be much more. And you'll be surprised what you get on your phone. But, and that's where that came from. Okay, the chart on my phone. Navionics.
I'll go to the App Store.
Okay,
Here.
Yeah, there must have been 15 avionics.
it shows you right here, flood, start at the max flood at .10 and stop at, I'm gonna tell you this, plus .10. Here's how you figure this out, because it doesn't give you, when you get it, it'll show you, let's say you're there, all right? It'll show you you're there, here's what the current's doing now, okay? Because you're there and that's the time. But let's say you're not there yet, and you're scrolling through a day to say, well, only thing you're gonna get at that time is no arrows, okay? When you scroll through here, it's gonna give you this, and it's gonna give you the time, okay? The best thing to do is put it up on maximum. It'll tell you the maximum, all right? Maximum flood, so the first one's gonna be flood, right here. Okay, that's the one we use. The maximum flood is 141. What am I doing, Tom? Start at the, let me get this right. North Point, 12, okay, yeah, here we go. 12:48 p.m., March 25th, Tuesday. The maximum is at 212, right? Now, I don't have anything else on there. I just know there's a line going up there to 212. And at 212, it's going to be flooding. This is the flood. The top, when they're on the top, it's flood. When they're down the bottom, it's ebb. Okay? It's going to be, flood current's going to be moving in the fastest that day. All right, now what am I going to do with that 2 minutes and 12 seconds? Or 2 hours and 12 minutes? How can I, after seeing all these charts, what can I do with that? Okay? Here's what you can do with it, and this is from my knowledge. It's take that number, 0.41 miles per hour, deduct 0.10, then it's going to be 0.31. You're going to have that written down. Then you take it, and all you do is you move your thumb while it's on. Once you hit 3.1, that's where you stop. When you hit 3.1, it's going to give you, I'm going to start at 12:48. The one in the middle, I'm sorry, I should have said, the one in the middle is maximum. That's where it's put, right there. That's maximum. So what do I do with that? I deduct 0.10 from 0.41. And now I move it back to 0.31, and that's telling me at 12:48, same day, that's what's going to be moving. All right, it's going to be moving fast enough to hold fish. And this is just from my knowledge. And then once you have your maximum flood at 212, well, should I stay there a while? Sure. Stay there no later than 3:42.
So you're saying 1/10 of a mile per hour in current flow is...
I'm out of there, that's right.
Magic number.
From using my other charts and from being on the water and doing that, I wouldn't stay any longer than that.
Or you could say maximum flow plus or minus 1/10 of a mile an hour.
Watch it, yeah. Well, here it is. Yeah, see it here?
Oh.
It's on your page.
I think
Minus
you did say
10,
that.
start and stop, see it up top there?
Yep.
That gives you that, so just go to that page, just go to the time that you want, because it gives you the opportunity to just put the date in there.